What if Derry's evil wasn't born in the sewers, but invited in by the people who live there? A town haunted not just by a creature from the stars, but by guilt, secrets, and sins buried beneath smiling faces. From screaming demon babies to families that turn monstrous behind closed doors, HBO's Welcome to Derry isn't just expanding the IT universe, it's dragging us right into its rotten heart. So today, we're breaking down every mystery, every hidden clue, and every connection this show has to Stephen King's terrifying universe, including what really happened to Maddie, who those masked soldiers might be, and how this all ties back to Pennywise himself. Grab your flashlight, because once we step into Derry, there's no turning back. The episode opens not with screams or shadows, but with The Music Man, a 1962 musical about a con artist charming a small town. Weird choice for a horror show, right? But here's the genius. The Music Man is a perfect mirror of what's happening in Derry. A stranger arrives, manipulates people with charisma, and builds fear out of nothing. Sound familiar? That's exactly what it does. The showrunners clearly knew what they were doing here. This movie sets the tone. It's light on the surface, but beneath the music and dancing, there's deception, corruption, and denial. Just like Derry. Then we meet Maddie, a small boy with a yellow pacifier sitting alone in the theater. That yellow isn't random. It's the same color as Georgie's raincoat from the 2017 IT movie. The moment you see it, your brain connects the dots. Another innocent kid in a cursed town. Maddie's life mirrors the broken spirit of Derry's children. He's from a rough family, the kind people whisper about. He's quiet, bruised, and uses movies to escape the world around him. In Stephen King's novel, a boy named Maddie vanishes while riding his tricycle, believed to be another of Pennywise's victims. But here's where it gets darker. Maddie starts seeing strange things, visions that no one else can see. When he finally tries to leave Derry, he hitches a ride and ends up with a family that slowly turns demonic. Their smiles twist, their eyes hollow out, and we realize this isn't a family at all. It's it, feeding off his fear, showing him the nightmare version of the home he wanted to escape. The way Maddie's story ends isn't shown, but we don't need to see it. His disappearance becomes the spark, the event that pulls a new group of kids into uncovering the truth about Derry. Maddie, like Georgie, becomes the ghost that starts everything. Derry isn't just haunted, it's infected. Set during the height of the Cold War, the town is surrounded by paranoia, military secrets, and fear of the unknown. And that's exactly the type of fear it thrives on. We're introduced to Leroy Hanlon, a Korean War veteran and the grandfather of Mike Hanlon from the IT films. He's transferred to Derry to test a new bomber, the B-52. But near the Air Force Base, there's a mysterious hangar marked Special Projects. Locals whisper that something alien was brought there years ago. If you've read the lore, you know where this is going. It didn't crawl out of the sewer. It crashed here, millions of years ago, inside a meteor. So what if the military actually found part of that meteor and is trying to weaponize whatever was inside? The idea that the US government wants to turn its power into a Cold War weapon fits perfectly with the show's 1960s paranoia. It's terrifying and completely believable. But Derry's real monsters don't all come from space. The show also introduces us to a racist vigilante group called the Legion of White Decency, basically the northern version of the Ku Klux Klan. They burn, they kill, and they hide behind religion and patriotism. This group is directly tied to one of Derry's darkest events, the burning of the Black Spot, a nightclub built by black airmen. One survivor of that fire? Dick Halloran. Yes, the same telepathic chef from The Shining. King's universes are connecting again, and Halloran's appearance here might be our first real crossover between it and The Shining. His shining ability could even be what helps others sense its presence later in the series. If you've read the books, you know that light, or shine, has always been one of the few things that can fight back against the darkness. And then, the most chilling part of episode 1, the men in gas masks. They appear without warning, their breathing echoing through the fog, their movements robotic and ritualistic. Who are they? At first glance, they seem like soldiers. But their behavior doesn't line up. They attack Leroy, but one of them, the one standing slightly apart, doesn't fight back. He flinches, hesitates, almost as if he doesn't want to be there. The other two seem to escort him out, like they're protecting him, not the mission. So who is this mysterious third figure? Some fans believe he's not human at all. Maybe it taking on a human disguise to observe? Or maybe he's a government test subject, someone who's seen the true form of the creature underneath. The show never confirms, but one thing's clear. These masked men are more than just soldiers. They're part of something larger, something sinister, possibly tied to both it and the government's special projects. If there's one emotion that defines Welcome to Derry, it's guilt. Every major character is haunted by something they couldn't stop. Phil and Terry blame themselves for skipping Maddie's birthday, thinking maybe he'd still be alive if they'd gone. Lily carries the guilt of her father's death, crushed in the factory gears while trying to recover her lost mood ring. That guilt, that unbearable weight, is exactly what it feeds on. The creature doesn't just feed on fear. It feeds on the emotional rot people carry inside. And this show is making that clearer than ever. We also see constant turtle symbolism, a nod to Maturin, the cosmic turtle from King's Macroverse. In King's lore, Maturin represents creation and light, the polar opposite of it. The fact that turtles keep appearing might mean that Derry's evil isn't unchallenged. There's balance. There's resistance. Welcome to Derry is absolutely packed with Easter eggs. The Capitol Theater, where Maddie vanishes, is the same one Richie visits as an adult in IT Chapter 2. There's a comic book featuring Clayface, a shape-shifting villain mirroring Pennywise's own abilities. Downtown, we spot Nan's Luncheonette and Jade of the Orient, both classic King locations from Needful Things and It, Chapter 2. Even Juniper Hill Asylum, where the town sends troubled people, makes an appearance. Every detail is a thread in Stephen King's larger web. Now let's talk about what's next. The trailer teases a lot. We see Leroy's family arriving in town, met with suspicious stares from neighbors. We see Lily's visions intensify, jars shattering, echoes of her father's death haunting her. Someone's escorted onto a Shawshank prison bus, possibly the projectionist, Veronica's father. And then the real bombshell. Lily finds a